Thanks for joining me today for what is a slightly different video to my usual cycling related videos. Recently my wife and I and the children have taken part in this camping boom that's taking place at the moment in the UK, and we bought ourselves a high gear Zenobia 8 tent. So I thought I'd do a couple of videos on this. The first one, which is this one, to show you how to pitch the tent, and then the second video I will do a review of the tent. So I hope you enjoy it, and let's get going. Although this is us pitching the Zenobia 8 tent, the method of pitching is actually the same for most tunnel tents, so this can apply to a lot of other tents, not just this one. Now, what we do first is we lay out the tent where we want it, and then we straighten out the poles, put them together and put them through the fabric sleeves in the tent. Once this is done, it's time to peg the four corners of the tent down. I use my glamorous assistant Spencer to hold the pegs and pass them to me, and I peg down the four corners and stretch out the tent as much as possible. We can now start to give the tent its real shape by inserting the poles either side into the holding eyelets, forcing the poles into an arch. The first one's quite difficult, requires a bit of force, but then they go up quite easily. And then there's a few clips on the bottom of the tent that need to be clipped to the poles. And once this is done, we can take the final small pole which creates the porch. The last job is to peg out the tent, and this involves pegging the ground sheet down and also pegging out the guidelines. And on this tent also, there's two vents either side at the top which need their lines pegging out to open these vents and make sure the tent is sufficiently ventilated. Now, I didn't peg out all the guidelines this time because the weather forecast was good and not particularly windy. The pegging out is made a lot easier by the fact that the pegs are colour coordinated: green for the ground sheet, steel pegs for the four corners, and then yellow pegs for the guidelines. It's also important to note that this tent has inner bedroom pods, but once you clip those in the first time, you never have to take them out again. I hope you found this video interesting and possibly helpful. Like I said at the start, this method of pitching applies to most types of tunnel tents. Other tunnel tents that have pitched work on the same principle as this one. It's definitely a two-person job to get this one pitched due to the size. But once you have got some experience putting it up, you can do it in about 25 minutes. If you've enjoyed this video, please do drop me a like and subscribe, and you won't miss my next video where I do a proper review of this and show you around the inside. Thank you very much for watching, and take care.